Welcome to the Explainer. So, have you noticed your electronics getting just wildly expensive lately? Today, we're unpacking a massive global mystery. We're going to look at exactly why consumer tech prices have suddenly skyrocketed, specifically focusing on the shockingly high price of Valve's newly announced Steam machine, and uncover the hidden global crisis driving the whole shebang. Okay, let's dive into this. $1,049, that is the jaw-dropping base price for the 512GB model of Valve's highly anticipated Steam machine. I mean, practically everyone in the gaming community was expecting something closer to the $750 mark. So this $300 markup, it was an absolute shock to the system. Just look at how this machine stacks up against the current market. You've got the Xbox Series X sitting at a comfortable $499. The PlayStation 5 Pro comes in at $699, offering a super simple plug-and-play experience. And then there's the Steam machine, all the way up at $1,049. Now, sure, it aligns more closely with the price of a custom mid-range gaming PC, and yeah, it promises that infinite Steam library alongside incredible PC modding power, but for a device meant to literally just sit under your television, that price tag is undeniably alarming. Now, Valve's Gabe Newell has a very specific defense for this. He says, quote, "It's not a console. Valve really insists this is a TV gaming PC built strictly for hardcore gamers. You know, the folks who want maximum control and don't mind tinkering with drivers or graphics settings. It is definitely not for families looking for a simple plug-and-play box." But here's the real secret Valve revealed. They didn't actually want to charge over $1,000. They were firmly aiming for a $750 price point, but an invisible disaster completely derailed the global supply chain. Enter RAM-aggedon. This is the real weapon in our pricing mystery. RAM-aggedon is essentially a catastrophic global shortage of memory chips that hit in late 2025, and it triggered these dramatic, totally unprecedented price hikes in consumer DDR5 and LPDDR5X memory. This single supply chain crisis is exactly what ravaged the market and forced Valve into their drastic pricing pivot. To really grasp the magnitude of this, just look at the timeline. Before September 2025, we were in an absolute golden age. A standard 32GB kit of DDR5 RAM was sitting at a beautiful $95. Gamers and PC builders were thriving. But then, the upward freefall began. By December, that exact same kit doubled to $195. By March of 2026, a whopping $349. And by June, it had hit $374. No way, right? And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale of the disaster, a 350% increase. In the first 6 months of 2026 alone, memory prices surged between 300 and 400% compared to late 2025. We're talking about one of the fastest, most aggressive price hikes in the entire history of the semiconductor industry. Section 2, the culprit, AI, and the memory monopoly. So you're probably wondering who drained the world's consumer DRAM supply overnight. Well, it all comes down to pure profit. Manufacturers realize that high-bandwidth memory, which is absolutely essential for running AI data centers, sells for 10 to 15 times more than the standard DDR5 memory used in your everyday PCs and laptops. It yields 3 to 4 times higher profit margins. I mean, why on earth would they make cheap gaming RAM when they can strike gold fueling the AI revolution? But the plot thickens here because this incredibly lucrative market is a completely closed club. We're dealing with a terrifying 3-company monopoly. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron control 100% of the global HBM market, the whole thing. So when tech titans come knocking with billions of dollars to buy up all the memory, smaller hardware players, and yes, even heavyweights like Valve, are shoved to the absolute back of the line. An anonymous Samsung engineer really laid bare the gravity of the situation. They said, "The more we produce, the faster we sell. Our 2027 production is now almost sold out. We've never seen anything like this. The demand for AI chips is just insatiable right now." To put that into perspective for you, NVIDIA alone ordered over $6 billion worth of HBM in just a single quarter. They are literally vacuuming up the world's memory supply. Section 3, the fallout, the industry-wide ripple effect. Now, what's really interesting about this is how this macroeconomic mystery reaches right into your pocket, no matter what you buy. RAM is literally cannibalizing the manufacturing budgets of everyday electronics. Back in 2024, RAM took up a pretty modest 12% of a laptop's total component cost. But by 2026, it leaped to 35%. And trust me, the manufacturers aren't just eating that loss. That cost gets passed directly to you. Mid-range laptops, they're up 15 to 20%. Consoles like the PS5 Slim and Xbox Series X, up $50 to $100. Even flagship smartphones, from the iPhone 17 Pro to the Galaxy S26 Ultra, have jumped $50 to $100 at launch. Basically, everything with RAM inside it is suddenly carrying a massive premium. And this goes far beyond a minor inconvenience for tech enthusiasts. Ars Technica actually calls RAM-aggedon a digital justice crisis. Only the wealthy can buy new technology. This pricing catastrophe is creating massive digital access barriers. Just imagine everyday students or families in developing countries trying to buy a basic laptop for school. Almost overnight, the price of admission's totally out of reach.
Section 4. The future. When does it end?
Well, industry analysts are not exactly optimistic about a rapid market recovery. SK Group Chairman Che Tae-won stated flatly, the memory bottleneck will persist through 2030. That is the pessimistic yet highly realistic scenario. Why? Because it takes years and literally billions of dollars to build new fabrication plants. Even if they broke ground today, we wouldn't see that new memory hit the market until 2029 at the earliest. So, this bottleneck is firmly entrenched.
Section 5. Surviving the new normal.
So, to protect your hard-earned money right now, follow this survival guide. First off, if your current rig works, simply wait until late 2026 or 2027 when things might cool down slightly. Second, if you absolutely must build a PC right now, just buy 16 gigabytes of RAM to start and upgrade later when prices stabilize. Third, check the used market. Lots of folks are selling older RAM, just be sure to test it safely. And fourth, seriously consider sticking with older DDR4 platforms, or honestly, just buy a console. Despite the price bumps, a PS5 or Xbox Series X might actually be the absolute best value in gaming today. So, the crucial point is that the new normal means RAM is just always going to be more expensive. As much as we might hope for a sudden market crash, the structural reality of the AI boom means we are highly unlikely to ever see a return to those glorious, cheap 2024 prices. It's a tough pill to swallow, I know. Let's recap the vital macroeconomic lessons we've learned today. Number 1, a monopoly is incredibly dangerous to supply chains. Number 2, AI isn't just a fun technology trend, it is a massive economic force actively redistributing global resources. And number 3, everyday consumers always feel the most pressure. We just witnessed an emerging infant industry completely bring the mature, decades-old consumer electronics market to its knees. Which leaves us with one final, pretty heavy question. Are you ready to live in a world where AI gets priority over consumers? Because right now, the AI revolution is happening, and its true cost is being paid straight out of your wallet. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay curious and keep learning.